Hello everyone, this is Ariel Taib. In this video, I'm going to show you a game which was played by Paul Morphy. Just for you to know, I already created a video about Paul Morphy on this channel. I will leave a link in the description down below so you can check it out. Now let's get started with the game. In this game, Morphy had white pieces and he started with e4. Black played e6. It seems like it's the French defense, but after d4, Black played c5. Which is a bit odd because normally in this position, Black plays d5, which is the French defense. And in this position, White has a few options like taking on d5, pushing e5, or playing either knight to c3 or knight to d2. Those are the main options. But in this game, Black, after d4, Black just played c5. All right, so Morphy continued with d5. Of course, this is Black is trying to transpose to the Sicilian defense because if White plays knight to f3, we have here c takes d4, and it's the open Sicilian Khan variation. So Morphy was not interested in that, so he played d5 and e5. Another strange move. Normally, Black just takes the pawn on d5. Excuse me. Normally, Black just takes the pawn on d5, and if e takes d5, then you just see this pawn can easily be blocked by d6, and this pawn is no longer accessible because the d file is closed. So, and if queen takes d5, then just knight to f6, attacking the queen and the pawn on e4. So it's not quite clear why Black played this strange move e5. Never mind, Morphy continued with striking the center with f4, d6, and knight to f3. Morphy increases the pressure on e5. Black continued with bishop to g4, f takes e5, and bishop takes on f3. Queen takes f3, and d takes e5. And Morphy continued bishop to b5 check, knight to d7 an only move. Black cannot block this with the queen, of course. So knight to d7, knight to c3. We see here one pin, and after knight to f6, we see after bishop g5, there is a second pin on this knight on f6 is pinned by the bishop on g5, and the knight on d7 is pinned by the bishop on b5. So Black played bishop to e7 in order to castle and also unpin one of the knights. But in this position, Morphy just completely destroyed Black's position. Feel free to pause this video. It's White to move, and just figure out how Morphy continued with this position. So go ahead and pause the video now. Okay, I hope you were able to find it. In this position, Morphy played d6. As I mentioned, both of those knights are pinned. This knight is pinned because there is no bishop in between, and this knight is pinned because Black didn't castle. So Black played bishop e7 in order to castle and unpin this knight, and with bishop e7 he also unpinned this knight. But after d6, and Black is forced to take on d6, now you see both of the knights are still pinned. And after White's next move, Black simply resigned. So if you haven't spotted this, feel free to pause the video and find it once again. It's White to move and to play a winning move. So go ahead and pause the video now. Okay, I hope you find it. Well, just before I show you, feel free to drop a like to this video. This is really helping me and helping to grow this channel. I'm trying to make everyone watch my videos because I work very hard for them. So please leave a like to this video. This is very, very helpful. So in this position, Morphy simply castled, and in this position, Black resigned. Because there are so many pins. The bishop on b5 is pinning the knight on d7, the knight on f6 is pinned, and even the bishop on e7 and on d6 is tactically pinned, because if the bishop moves to anywhere, let's say to e7, to unpin this knight, well, you can see there is some pressure here. So I'd simply take on f6. The knight cannot take back because it is pinned from the bishop. So after Black takes whatever way he wants, then just simply rook takes d7, and White win few pieces here. So that is not a very good idea. And if Black tries to defend the bishop, for example, with queen to e7, then now White can simply take on d6. Of course, not taking on d6 is not even forced. You can just play knight to d5. the queen is forced to move. She can't move away from the bishop because then you can simply take on f6 with check and take here with a fork. So let's say he played queen to e6. And after queen to e6, well, I think the simplest of all will be just to play knight takes on f6, g takes f6, and now queen takes on f6, trading queens, attacking the rook, and the next move is simply rook takes d6, winning the bishop. So, and if queen to c7, trying to unpin this knight on f6, then simply rook takes d6, queen takes d6, and now rook to d1, and whatever black plays is completely lost, because if queen to e6, then simply bishop takes on f6, and bishop takes on d7 to follow. Maybe immediately bishop takes on d7. Yeah, white has a knight and a bishop against the king, against the rook, and black king cannot castle, and white will continue with knight to d5 at some point. So black was not interested in this. After simply castling queenside, black just resigned because he realized his position is completely helpless. Actually, I think I overlooked one variation, because if queen to c7, white is not forced to give up the exchange. He can even easily take on f6. I think this is a better line than g takes f6 and queen takes f6, attacking the rook and winning the bishop on the next move. Yeah, this is far better. So this was the game which was played by Paul Morphy. If you'd like to see more Morphy games and more games which were played by grandmasters, simply put a comment down below and tell me which specific player you want me to analyze this game. Like it's Paul Morphy, Paul Keres, Mikhail Tal, Miguel Najdorf, like whatever you want. Just comment down below the name of the player and I will analyze one of his games on his channel. So I hope you like this video. Don't forget to drop a like to this video and subscribe to this channel in order not to miss some future uploads. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.